Flora and Ulysses. So, what's happening in this picture, everybody? What's happening here? Ulysses is typing, yeah. And then, what is the snack that Ulysses ate up in the kitchen? Cheese puff. Yeah, there is a bag of cheese puffs lying there on the table, and Ulysses is typing. Yeah. Well, before the accident happened, what was the only thing that Ulysses thought about, everybody? Hungry. Yeah, he only cared about hungry, hungry. He was just a dumb squirrel. But something changed inside his brain after being sucked up into the vacuum cleaner. Now he became intelligent all of a sudden, and he can think and write. Wow. Okay, so let's move on to our first discussion question. Yeah, okay. So what's going on in this picture? Everybody, please describe. What is this one, everybody?
Vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, that's a vacuum cleaner. Whose vacuum cleaner is this? Oh, Mrs. Ticken. What is her first name? Tootie. Yeah, that is Tootie's vacuum cleaner. Where did she get it?
From
Oh, from Donald. Yeah, Donald gave the vacuum cleaner. And what happened to the vacuum cleaner? What's going on?
It's sucking everything.
Yeah, it's sucking everything up. It's flying around the neighborhood and it's making a mess. And it's such a chaotic scene that we are watching. And then one noticeable thing about Ulysses, Flora and Ulysses, that the book started with several comic strips, and then that's what made the story very alive and very fun and very attractive, right? I think the reason why the author started the book with the comic book is because Flora loves reading comic books, right? And then when she talks, she quotes from the comic book heroes when some kind of mess is going on. She would talk like this: malfeasance must be stopped. So she just talks as if she's a comic book hero. So by starting the novel with a comic book, we readers can step right into the comic world that Flora is living in. So that's why the author started the book in such a way. And then thanks to the beginning, the story feels more dramatic and interesting and very fast-paced. So that's why we are drawn right into the world that Flora is building. Yeah, and then if we were to describe the scene that is going on, Mrs. Tickham, Tuda Tickham, she got Ulysses 2000X, the super vacuum cleaner from Donald. And then, yeah, I know, it sucked up Donald's pants as well. Yeah, and then somehow he started moving by itself. It seems like it has become a monster. It has taken on a life and it's going around the neighborhood and finally made a large landing at Flora's garden. It was like a sound of a jet plane landing and crashing onto the garden. And then it sucked up the poor squirrel. Yeah, and then that's the chaos and that's the mess that the book is describing. Okay, let's move on to the second one. So what does Flora call herself, everybody? Cynic, yeah. So what is a cynical person? What kind of person is a cynical person? Huh? Oh, cold-hearted person. That's right. Huh? Negative person, that's right. So Flora calls herself, I am a natural born cynic. And then by cynic, she means that she doesn't have too many feelings and she believes in facts, not emotions. And she hates the romance novels that her mom writes. Yeah, so that's why she calls herself and describes herself as a cynic. And one of her favorite books is Terrible Things Can Happen to You. And then she reads, she's always prepared for the worst scenario. She feels really proud to be a cynic. Well, but that doesn't mean that Flora is just like gloomy and serious and just cold-hearted individual. Actually, she's surprisingly really kind. What kind of kind action did Flora show everybody in the novel? She's she saved the squirrel. How did she save it? with CPR, right? So we can see that Flora is actually not a cynic. She's not really cynical. She is hiding that kind heart under the cold face, right? So she was watching everything that was going on from her window, and then when she saw the poor squirrel being sucked into the vacuum cleaner, she rushed downstairs really quickly. She jumped off the fence and she started shaking the vacuum cleaner really hard, and finally the squirrel came out. And then at that time squirrel was not breathing, so that's why she decided to perform CPR on the poor squirrel. So she pushed the chest of the squirrel and breathed air into the squirrel, and then the squirrel's mouth, it tasted like nuts. Yeah. So I don't think that she is a serious cynic. She's actually a very kind person, and she's thinking like a hero from the heroes that she also read about in the hero comic books that she enjoys reading. Okay, so let's practice everybody for 45 seconds. Yeah, and then we're gonna do it loudly all together with our ears covered. Okay, ready, set, start. Well, the reason why the author started the novel with several comic strips is because the author wanted to invite us to the world um, that Flora is living in. Thanks to the comic strips, the story feels more alive and vivid and more realistic. So we readers step right into the world that the author wants to build, and where Flora is living. And Flora, she claims to be a cynic, but she's actually not, because she's surprisingly kind. When she saw the poor squirrel being sucked up into the vacuum cleaner, she rushed downstairs right away, and then she even did CPR on the poor squirrel. So we can see that Flora is actually a very warm-hearted person. Okay, very nice. Okay, so let's go to Sua. Okay, Sua talk. Everyone cover your ears and practice. Ready, set, start. Sua. Okay, yeah. Sua talk. Jeremy practice. Ready, set, start.
I have an experience about making something bad. And in my class, my friend Yerin caught a bug and she fell in the ground. So everyone screamed and they stepped in the chair. So she put she caught it again and put it in the trash can. It was so horrible because I hate bugs and everybody screamed.
Oh,
It
oh,
was a horrible
it was so
time.
horrible. Oh yeah, your friend caught a bug and everyone was screaming and then like stepping on the chair. I had a similar experience. A cockroach came out of my bathroom and then I started screaming. I was alone. I couldn't do anything. I just like I took a video clip of it. I sent it to Funza teacher, and then I told Funza teacher, get rid of, kill the bug when you get home. And that's what he did. Yeah. Okay. So let's move on to Jewani. Jewani, Swimming, cover your ears and practice. Ready, set, start.
I had a similar experience like this when I was very curious what will happen if I put 200 mantis in 2 liter cola and I didn't shake it very hard. But there was my dad. The Coke's bottles up, up was exploded. And the cap was hit in Dad's head, and the room was all filled with cola, and the bed was doing cleaning.
You put 200 benches in 2 liter Coke and then you shook it and exploded, and then the bottle, the cap hit Dad's head and made such a mess. Oh my god, you must have been scolded really hard by mom after that. Wow, thank you for sharing that, Jaewon. Alright, so we need to honey practice. Ready, set, start. Mm-hmm.
You can focus The book because the comic is really the reading comic is hobby to
Uh-huh.
so I think author do it
Uh,
discuss the hard character.
uh-huh.
Other one is that it could attract a young child in the comic
Uh-huh.
and just read it more
Uh-huh.
and have fun with this.
Oh, okay. Flora has the hobby of reading comics, and as readers, by sharing the similar interests, we can easily relate to Flora. That's very good, Subin. Awesome. Let's move on to Honey. Honey Talk Jungkook practice. Ready, set, start.
I think the author through the comic is to get the attention of the readers.
Mm-hmm.
For example, in exams or in the story, we have a hook that is makes the readers distraction and make them interested in the story.
Mm-hmm.
I think the author used this comic to distract their interested mind and make and make them know it better what is happening in the story.
Oh, okay. Grab the attention of the readers and make it more interesting so that the readers can fully focus on what's going on. Very nice, Connie. All right. Let's move on to Choco Talk Doa practice. Ready, set, start.
I have two similar versions of vacuum cleaner. First was appeared in this year in class. Our friend played baseball, and I hit the ball. The ball was hit my friend, and the friend was pulled out, and the table was out of the desk. We made chaos, and second one was in third grade. I played soccer in my school with my brother. I kicked the ball, and the ball was kicked the book, and the ball was pulled out right over.
You were playing baseball inside a classroom and then you hit your friend with a baseball? That's awful, Jongwoo. You have to do that in the school playground, not inside the classroom. Okay. Thank you for sharing that, Jongwoo. Tuata, Hyun practice. Ready, set, start.
I think the books better with comic books because it helps people understand easily, and also comic books is fun. I love comic books very much, so when I read this book, I was so fun and happy. And also, Donald getting Miss Pigman a vacuum cleaner and made a huge mess. And when I was 4 years old, there was a two bottle of water and ketchup sauce and lots of sauce, and I pushed them, and the carpet was in a mess. So my mom
You mixed the water and then ketchup sauce and then put them all over the carpet and then made mom angry. Wow. What's up with the kids? They're full of curiosity. Okay, thank you. Kyokita, Juho practice. Ready, set, start.
I think the book starts with comic because the main character Flora likes to read comic, and I have an experience, two experience, messing by accident. The first one is when I was in 6th grade, I went to retreat, and I accidentally dropped my chocolate milk in the bus. And the second one is that today I had a pandeangjeom of dodgeball, and I accidentally throw the ball to my friend's nose and both.
Oh my god! You're playing dodgeball today and then you made a bloody nose out of your friend? Wow, did you say sorry, apologize? Oh, okay. Wow. Thank you for sharing fun experiences, Yanu. Okay. Chuo talk, saving practice. Ready, set, start.
2003, I was
going to new general house, so we were cleaning the rooftop, and there was a fake grass because my father there was good, and when we rebuilt it, there was almost 200 roaches. So I said that father take the killer because there were so many roaches and there was so much. And I think that Flora is not a sign because she didn't she saved the others and with
Oh, 200 cockroaches where?
under the big grass
Under the fake grass? Where was it?
in top rooftop.
Oh, at the rooftop? Oh, were you camping? Were-
In my there was a rooftop in my people house.
Oh, your house before this. Wow, and did you kill them? Would have killed them? Wow, you must be really scared. Thank you for the experience. Okay, so let's move on to Seven's name. Okay, Seven tall. Everybody, stay still. Ready, set, start.
The book starts with comic, we might expect that the book might be very fun.
Mm-hmm.
Also, her husband gave a present because it was her birthday, but it was a vacuum cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
However, it was really strange.
Mm-hmm.
So when she tried the vacuum cleaner, it did not stop. Finally, the vacuum the school too.
Oh yeah, it made a mess and then it vacuumed the poor squirrel Ulysses. Okay, and then when it starts with the comic book, the readers can have an expectation that it will be fun. Very good, Sevi. Okay.